What do you think your purpose is?
Great question. I am asking myself that all the time. I'll bring up that word that I just used a minute ago that Brother Christian had told me, communicate. I mean, I could unpack that word in many different ways for hours.
I don't know what my larger purpose is. I just know that it's to be happy every day. I'm grateful to have the gift of life. I'm very grateful to have the gift of my life.
And our purpose, I'm absolutely convinced, is to find out who we are. And so I think that's our purpose, is to realize that we're much more than what we're seeing. And I think that's our ultimate purpose, because when we discover that, we're free. When we discover it, I don't mean as a concept or intellectually, I mean when we experience it for ourselves, then we are free. And then we find permanent happiness.
The material pursuit of success and happiness in and of itself is limited. And ultimately, I've seen people, whether they've conquered it or are trying to conquer it, have ultimately turned to spirituality in every sense. So not only from my own experience have I had amazing spiritual experiences, but from having observed human experience, material things are a need, a necessity, and are useful and important, but they are not the goal. And so I don't idolize or demonize materialism, because I live in the world, I make money, I'm an entrepreneur, I have a home, I have a car. I value all of those things, but I don't value those things to give me a sense of happiness, joy, fulfillment, or purpose. But I do value them as they are, as tools and energy.
What you're asking is, what's the point of life?
Yeah.
Such a question comes because in some way it's become burdensome. If you were ecstatic, you wouldn't ask that question. You ask that question because somewhere your feet are dragging, because you don't have the throttle under your right foot anymore.
Oh, good one, really good one.
I don't know if I know what the point is yet, but I kind of feel that all of it is the point. No matter where you're at, what you're doing, that's the whole point. I remember Byron Katie saying, what if your purpose was right here, right now, in this moment?
If you'd have asked me a few years back what I thought the point of this existence was, I would say to experience duality. But what I realized in the dualistic nature of life, the good and the bad, the more bad I felt, the more I realized without getting a good, the more easy I was able to access joy and happiness in simple moments.
Hey, all this stuff's out here. I sense it, I see it, I witness it more and more versus getting drawn in. And really, I'm just pulling it in here. I'm staying in here. I'm showing up here. This is how I can serve the most. I know my truth. I need less and less from the outside. And here's where I create from. And this is where our best stuff comes forward.
As every time I push the goalpost a little further, every time I break a glass ceiling for myself, I'm just like, that gives me the largest sense of purpose.
I did everything. This poor kid, I was rubbing spoons on him. I had Mormons come over to do a prayer. I had like anything I could possibly read, like injecting them with just detox and you name it. But by the grace of God, he got better. He got better and he got better and he got better. And I was like, all right, maybe this is another one of my missions. Maybe this is the only reason I became famous, is to actually help mothers and dads and families who might have a chance of their kid getting a little bit better.
My purpose, well, I know that this may not be the answer, but I'm a storyteller. That's what I always, when I first went to film school before I ever started acting, I remember saying, I just want to be in the storytelling business. If I could make a living telling stories, how fun would that be? How cool would that be? And to this day, 20, 30 years later, I still consider myself, I'm in the storytelling business. And if I can tell a story in a way, which I've been told, I did so in the book, that you can go, oh, that's more than just a good story. Yes, that was entertaining, absolutely. But also it enlightened me in this way. It educated me in this way. It made me think about myself. It gave me more questions or confidence, or made me say, I'm going to reapproach this thing. I'm for stories being for entertainment solely, and there's great value in that. But I also like stories that I can go, well, how can I take something that into my own life, and I'm going to go out and give that a boot. I'm going to try that out and see what that music is that comes back to me. If a more true music comes back to me, if I apply that and take that in the way that I see the world, in the way that I wake up in the morning, the way that I look my wife in the eye first thing in the morning, the way I embrace my kids first thing, then what do I get back? And I usually find that, and I don't follow it all the time, but I'm still, working on it. As I said, I don't think I'm ever landing. I don't think we ever have a ta-da moment. And I think that's the point. But you when you get that reciprocity back to you, and you are catching green lights, feel like you are on your frequency, you are dancing through the world. You're taking the tough stuff and you're dancing by it and through it and handling it, and you're taking the good stuff with grace and confidence and compounding assets to the future. When that's happening, and you're actually doing more, it's a very selfish thing to experience because it feels good. People talk about charities, it's a selfish endeavor to give. I selfishly feel great when a child at our foundation eyes light up and goes, you're the first person that's ever done something for me that's not asking for something back, and you don't even know me. Why? Thank you. That's me feeling good selfishly feels good.
I have written well played, because that's what I want on my tombstone. Just well played. It's like life gave you some stuff, you did some shit, you cleaned it all up. It's just well played, because really it's just a big game. So if we look at every experience as a game, and here we are in this moment on the board, what are we going to do? What move are we going to make? That's it, right? It's being present and going, and what if that's it? What if everything is every moment of the game?
When in some way you don't live your life joyfully enough, intensely enough, you wonder, what is the point of my existence? Because human intelligence is made this way. If it doesn't figure out all aspects of life, it will feel incomplete. If you had the brains of an earthworm or a grasshopper, you would be fine eating, sleeping, reproducing and dying one day. But once you have come with this level of intelligence and awareness, you have to look deeper into your life, because your life is not fixed like their life. Nature has drawn 2 lines for all of them. They just have to live within that and go. For you, there are no lines. This freedom is what everybody is suffering.
Everyone does have a unique purpose and calling, and this book begins with my favorite verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which says, it's better to follow your own path imperfectly than to follow another's perfectly. And to me, that is the root of all of our growth or issues, because I'm just trying to follow my path the best I can. I genuinely feel I'm doing what I was meant to be doing and what I was born to do, and I feel very aligned in that sense. And it's taken me a long time to get here, and I'm still trying to constantly align every day. It's not like it's done and it's achieved. And I just want everyone to align with their greatest calling, because we need everyone in this world to live that way. We don't just need a few people. We need everyone to feel aligned with their purpose and their calling. So thank you for allowing me to share this with your community and your audience. Thank you so much.
Yeah, what if this is it? It's like, I feel complete, It's like, yeah, this is great. If nothing else happened other than this moment, I feel good. I feel clear.